Welcome, diecast fans. I'm Tom Spanners-Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And welcome to the semi-finals for NASCAR Rookie Rumble.
So far, the rookies have provided tons of awesome action. There's been some incredible overtaking maneuvers, there's been some huge crashes, and the crowd have loved every minute of it.
There's really nothing quite like the smell of high-octane fuel and lots of twisted metal.
Well, now that we're down to the semi-finals, hopefully these drivers can keep it together a bit better.
So let's take a quick look at who's in semi-final number one. Now, you see in the top left-hand corner is the points that they had coming into this round. They're not cumulative, so they do start from scratch again, but it gives you an idea of where these drivers finished in their respective heats.
But as we know, even if there's a massive spread between the top of the table and the bottom of the table, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe, because you've still got to make sure you stay on track through the whole competition.
And speaking of competition, let's get this thing underway. Starting off in the front row in the red number 7, we've got world famous Bubba, the top qualifier, coming in. Next to him is Diesel Boy in the 31 Lowe's car.
Bubba was a legend in his first round.
Oh, we've got cars up on the sidewall going over the jump. We've got cars going off track. Diesel Boy and Bubba race down to the finish line, followed by Cliff McCrashen by the look of it, and V McVagger gets a help across the finish line from Bandit, who stops short just outside the donut shop.
And then we've got Ajax parked up on the side of the track, and it looks like the number 7 Fram car of Andy's off the track as well.
That is super disappointing for Andy.
And there's Gnarly parked up in the back of a tow truck as well.
Well, let's go through the Jim's Rims replay and find out just where it all went wrong.
It looked like everybody just gave it the beans a bit too early coming out of KM corner. You got Cliff McCrashen up on the sidewall, even world famous Bubba was up on the sidewall. Cliff McCrashen got spun around, and unfortunately for Gnarly, he got caught up and pushed off track.
Yeah, Gnarly actually had quite a good line on that jump, and unfortunately he just got bounced off the side of Cliff McCrashen as he was spinning around.
Cliff McCrashen once again living up to his name. And then here, keep your eye on the orange number 7 Fram car there. He just got it wrong going out of the exit to Kahuna corner, as did Ajax. Of course, it also looks like V McVagger there giving him an assist, trying to push him off track.
So, a brutal start to the first round of the semi-finals. Goodness me, 2 cars eliminated already, and Diesel Boy starts out as the leader of the race. Can he hold on to it?
I have a feeling this one's going to be harder to pick than a broken nose, mate.
So as we go to race number 2, we've got Diesel Boy on the inside lane. Next to him, we've got Cliff McCrashen. McCrashen out pretty quick here. Diesel Boy trying to catch up. Oh, Diesel Boy goes over. Cliff McCrashen crashes again. There is cars going in all directions. Bandit runs into Cliff McCrashen and stalls out. That is just tragic.
And Ajax parked up under the bridge again. World famous Bubba stuck there with Diesel Boy by the look of it. Oh, and V McVagger's off the side of the track. Let's have a look at the Jim's Rooms replay. Look at this. Diesel Boy gets up on 2 wheels and then flips himself over. Cliff McCrashen riding the outside of the track falls off. A huge jump there from Ajax. What a monster leap. Look at this. Clears the carnage in front of him, and then V McVagger looks like he's trying out for the X Games with some fancy moves there as he rolls from one side of the track to the other, and unfortunately for him, he ends up off track.
It did look like V McVagger actually hit the rear end of world famous Bubba's car, and that's what sent him into the spin. And you saw just falling through the gap in the bridge there, that's Diesel Boy as he parks up on the track, and unfortunately Bandit came through and ran into him.
Now, if that car wasn't there, Bandit would have easily run down to the finish line, so we are going to give him maximum points because it's not fair that he is penalised for a car that shouldn't have been there.
So we say goodbye to V McVagger, and we've got a leader change. Bandit with that win, moving into the lead by 2 points.
Crikey, at the rate we're losing cars in this semi-final, there might not be anyone to go through to the actual final.
Leading us off in race 3, we've got Cliff McCrashen on the inside, and then the red number 11 of Bandit on the outside. Ajax tight on his tail there. Cliff McCrashen out with the lead. Bandit gets up on 2 wheels. McCrashen living up to his name yet again, goes over. Bandit getting stuck, but he gets around. He's going to roll down to the finish line only just. But thankfully, everybody actually stayed on the track this time, so no one gets eliminated, but there's not many points up for grabs there.
I don't know what happened to Cliff McCrashen there. He was all by his lonesome with a good lead, and he just threw himself over. And unfortunately for Ajax, he got out on that sidewall, but a nice drive from Bandit. Even though he's getting tagged from Ajax, he manages to stay pretty clean. And then here, nice manoeuvre to get around Cliff McCrashen, who was trying to block him yet again, and he takes the win.
So Bandit there with quite a commanding lead so far. All he has to do is really just stay consistent from now on and stay on track.
Well, it seems like staying on track seems to be the hardest trick of all at the moment.
We've got the same starting lineup again. That's because of all of the eliminations. Everybody just moves down to the next slot. So Bandit and Ajax pushing hard from the outside lane. This time Bandit gets out in the lead. He's on the sidewall. He gets spun around. Looks like Ajax got spun around, but Cliff McCrashen with a beautiful run all the way to the finish line. And there goes Diesel Boy. But it looked like carnage in behind, and it was. There's Ajax off the track. He is done for the day, and we've got world famous Bubba and Bandit stuck in Kahuna corner.
Now, it looked like Bandit dragged his rear end there. Ajax tried to steer around him, but unfortunately he went way too wide and went off the track. Bandit super lucky to stay on track there, even when he got clipped by world famous Bubba. That could have pushed him right into the infield like has happened to a couple of other drivers, but he manages to stay on track, so he'll hold on. But look at Ajax getting spanked there as he goes down into the junkyard.
4 races in and 4 cars off track. That is tragic. But we've got a tie for the lead. Diesel Boy now tied on 22 points with Bandit.
This definitely looks like it's going to be one of the toughest races so far just to survive, let alone win.
You're not wrong.
We're going to take a short break with a quick word from our sponsor.
Gems. Wow, that was quick. All right, let's get back to some racing.
With only 4 cars left, all these guys have to do is just drive nice and gentle and stay on track, and they're guaranteed a spot in the final.
Driving gentle isn't a concept that these guys seem to take into account. There goes world famous Bubba with a beautiful run out in front. This is what we're expecting from him. Oh, he gets a bit sideways, gets a tap from behind by Cliff McCrashen. He'll take first, Bandit second, Cliff McCrashen third, and Diesel Boy rolls in for fourth.
Well, that was pretty gentle compared to all the other races, and everybody manages to get some points on the board, although at this point it doesn't matter if they score no more points as long as they stay on track.
So race number 6, we've got Bandit on the inside. Next to him in the red number 7 is world famous Bubba. And Bubba jumps out strong here, looking good. And we know he's fast, but there goes Bandit up the inside. Bubba feeds it some channel. Oh, he goes wide. He rolls over. Bandit will run down to take the win nicely here. Oh, only just crossing the finish line. And who's that joining him? That is Cliff McCrashen rolls through for second place. Oh no, that's Bubba. He is off the track. Bubba is officially off the track.
Oh no, that was so tragic. Look at this. He goes sideways, bounces off the roof, gets back on track. Cliff McCrashen gives him a nudge, and then finally Diesel Boy finishes him off, flicking him right off track. And somehow Cliff McCrashen got back on his wheels. I don't even know how he did that.
That is very unfortunate for world famous Bubba. He was one of the top contenders, and Cliff McCrashen with a very nice move there. Again, he could have easily gone into the infield, but he keeps it under control, and we are down to only 3 drivers.
There's more carnage in this race than a Saw movie.
Well, we've got 2 races left, only 3 cars. Is anybody going to make it to the end of this round?
Well, if it is like a Saw movie, then probably only one of them will make it if they're lucky.
Diesel Boy looking like he's having some trouble. Bandit with a nice move through KM corner. A fairly gentle jump. Diesel Boy rushing in behind him, but he goes sideways on the exit to Kahuna corner. Bandit straightens up, and he'll take the win. But it looks like Diesel Boy and Cliff McCrashen are stuck just up by the Jim's Rims billboard.
Diesel Boy and Cliff McCrashen may have gone a little bit too gentle, but at least they stayed on track, so they're not too worried about the points.
Now, with Bandit starting in the front row so many times due to all the other cars being eliminated, it is giving him a chance to clock up some huge points, probably more than any other driver. And there he goes again into the lead, a little bit of a drift through KM corner. Nice clean jump, a perfect line through Kahuna corner, and he takes the win yet again, followed closely by Diesel Boy. And unfortunately, that's Cliff McCrashen stalled out, but it won't matter because those 3 drivers will now move through to the final.
Normally we'd take the top 4 drivers through to the final, but unfortunately with only 3 cars finishing, we don't have a choice. We can only take the 3.
Well, that was a lot more carnage than I was expecting. Remember to leave us a comment down below and let us know what you thought of it. But thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We look forward to seeing you next time.
So Spanners, do you think there's any way we could get a 4th car in there?
Well, maybe we'll talk to our members and let them decide what we do.
So, membership does have its privileges then.
It sure does. That's the whole point of being a member.
If you'd like to sign up to be a member, check the link in the description.
And a huge thank you to all of those people that have already signed up as members.
Oh, absolutely. They totally rock.